have the current stock market update for MicroStrategy Incorporated, stock ticker MSTR. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, the stock is finally starting to move higher in ways that are a bit more in line with the other cryptocurrency related stocks. For the most part, a lot of this activity is being propelled by the election of Donald Trump. Might not seem as though Donald Trump has much connection to MicroStrategy or even to Bitcoin possibly, but he has made it clear several times during his campaign that he was supportive of cryptocurrencies, and he wants cryptocurrency growth in the United States to continue, and he is being viewed as a very strongly positive president and potential administration advocate for Bitcoin. I think Anthony Pompliano, I think he said something like, "We have our first Bitcoin president." So clearly the cryptocurrency community was happier that he was elected because, we really hadn't heard much of anything from the Joe Biden administration, Kamala Harris administration about being supportive for cryptocurrency. I don't remember hearing them talk about it at all, like ever. So, the fact that Trump even brought it up at all during the campaign was even a little bit surprising. It's just kind of surprising to hear politicians even talk about it. So, he has made it clear that he is a supporter for the space, and a lot of these stocks are moving higher at the moment. So, I would recommend people take a look at the Coinbase and Mara Holdings videos that I just released as well, because some of those stocks are coming into some critical levels at the moment, and there's a high positive correlation between a stock like MicroStrategy and stocks like Mara Holdings and Coinbase, even though they all do different things technically. But there are strongly positive correlations. So, a day that's good for one might also be good for the other. A day that's bad for one might also be bad for the other. So, there are also signals that can be found. If you start to see a turning point in one of these stocks, possibilities of a reversal and things like that, you might start to also see them in the other stocks as well. So currently what we're dealing with as far as MicroStrategy is concerned is a share price high. I believe it's above 280. This ultimate price high comes in at 280.80. So this is now the main resistance level to watch to the top side. And of course, this does break above this prior high, which came in at 267.89. So this is significant here because, we're able to sort of reinvigorate this uptrend here. We can start to look a bit longer term in nature now because this prior downtrend movement really sort of focuses your attention on the resolution of that downside price movement. So, now that we've sort of broken above these prior highs, this does sort of tell us that now that once again, this prior uptrend is back in place. So, predicting and projecting price targets when you're trading at all-time highs is a bit dicey. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't really like to do that. Prefer to wait to see for, I wait for historical support and resistance zones and things like that to start to develop before making those types of predictions and projections and things like that. There are tactics that you can use, things like standard deviation channels and things like that, Fibonacci projection zones and things like that. That can be useful in terms of figuring out where share prices are likely to extend to the top side. But they have a bit less reliability because it's really just one signal that you're looking at. Personally, I prefer to have at least 3 signals anytime I establish a trade. So, at the moment, I wouldn't exactly be recommending buying MicroStrategy at these highs. It doesn't mean that it can't move higher. It certainly can move higher, and there is momentum that is starting to, generate itself and support those types of price movements. And then if we're looking at, the broader space, we can see that there is a lot of momentum that's supporting a lot of these stocks at the same time. So those are positives, and we can, continue to see share prices move higher here. But I personally would rather focus on some of these other names at the moment that possibly have maybe less resistance overhead, or perhaps, don't have some of the valuation problems that MicroStrategy has. Which, specifically people that watch this channel, they've probably heard me say that the company is trading, with a market cap that's above $50 billion, but then they have less than $20 billion in Bitcoin. So it's very basic math, and it really just doesn't add up. And people like to say, well, yeah, but they're buying. They're buying a lot of this stuff. They're using debt to fund a lot of this stuff, and it's like that. That's still not a legitimate argument because it still doesn't justify the current price value. I mean, if Bitcoin rallies higher, you can pretty much guarantee that MicroStrategy is rallying higher as well. Sometimes even to a greater extent than the Bitcoin itself, which makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you're just paying for more MicroStrategy and for less Bitcoin. Really doesn't make much sense. So currently to the downside, rather than get into the I'm gonna close out the video here. So rather than get into specific upside price targets here near term, I would rather look at potential downside areas, because if there's anybody that's looking to buy into this stock, I personally would be waiting for more of a retracement here to the downside. The first level that I would be looking at comes in right around 260, just below 260. 259.50 roughly is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone. So let's just write that in here. So this would be more of a price target here. I personally would be waiting for more of a pullback. I mean, I wouldn't really get into MicroStrategy specifically. I think there are other ways of expressing a bullish viewpoint on cryptocurrency. But if for anybody that is looking to sort of develop or build a strategy here, at the very least, I would be waiting for a pullback into roughly 260 before getting into a position like this, because buying in at these highs, especially with a volatile stock like this, it really is sort of a recipe for disaster. I mean, things can turn around very quickly and sort of unpredictably, because this stock really doesn't trade on its own merits. It trades based on the cryptocurrency space in general. So you could see declines in one area, and then it could sort of indirectly attack MicroStrategy as well. So just to close the video here, just before I close, we do sort of see a little bit of a conflicting signal here in the momentum reading, but the longer term signal here is still bullish. So this would help to explain why we're continuing to see new higher highs that are developing here. But we also have to keep in mind that there is some risk of a developing downtrend here as well, and we're also trading at very elevated levels. So there are definitely risks to buying the stock at or near current levels before waiting for a pullback. So here's the current market update for MicroStrategy, stock ticker MSTR. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.